Welcome to the Love Spark podcast. My name is Tanya Maveros, a relationship consultant and coach. I utilize information and tools backed by years of research with my clients to help them deepen connection and strengthen their relationship.
And I'm Stevie Maveros, Tanya's wife and a dedicated lifelong learner and advice giver.
Our podcast aims to bring relationship resources to all couples by not only telling you what they are, but by completing activities together in real time so you can hear them put into practice.
In addition, we'll also be interviewing real couples to learn more about their story, how they've handled conflict, managed difficult moments, and discuss the biggest successes they've celebrated.
We hope you enjoy and find us a valuable learning tool for you, your partner, or future partner. Let's get started. Disclaimer: this podcast discusses sensitive topics that listeners may find activating. Listening discretion is advised.
Welcome back to another week with Stevie and Tanya Maveros. We're diving into Principle 2 from the 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work by Dr. John Gottman and Nan Silver. Nurture your fondness and admiration. I have a lot of fondness and admiration for you.
Do you?
Yes,
I've got
truly.
a lot of fondness and admiration for you as well, my love.
Aw, thanks. Well, I guess we can spend this whole episode just nurturing that and caring for it by sharing. So, you said you had some context you wanted to share with the people.
Yes. I really appreciate this book because at the beginning, he makes so many references to some of the couples that have been in the Love Lab, and we are circling back to Dr. Rory. So I'm just going to read the passage.
The man with no love map.
Yeah. I'm going to read the passage. Let me take my glasses off.
Love you.
I love you. Okay. Principle 2, nurture fondness and admiration. Let's turn again to Dr. Rory, the husband whose love map was the size of a postage stamp, who couldn't even remember the name of the family dog.
That is just mind-boggling.
For years, his wife, Lisa, put up with his workaholism. But a turning point in the relationship occurred one year on Christmas Day when Rory was, of course, working.
Lisa decided to workaholic be on Christmas. Obviously.
Lisa decided to pack a Christmas picnic and kids in tow, surprise her husband at the hospital. That's super sweet. As they ate together in the waiting room, Rory turned to Lisa, his face like an angry mask. He told her he resented being surprised with a picnic. Why did you do this? It was really embarrassing. Just then, a resident called as Rory answered the phone. His face softened and his voice became helpful, warm, and friendly. When he hung up, he turned back to Lisa, his face again full of anger. Something snapped inside Lisa. Clearly, her husband was capable of kindness, just not toward her. She packed up the picnic and took the kids home. Soon afterward,
packed up more than just the picnic.
Soon afterward, she began going out in the evenings without him. After a while, Rory asked her for a divorce. But in a last-ditch effort to work out their differences, they decided to try marital counseling. At first, they got nowhere. When Lisa tried to be conciliatory toward Rory during their first session with a marital therapist, he was unable to respond in kind in her repair attempts. But their marriage's hidden hope was discovered when the couple agreed to be taped in my Love Lab for a segment of a TV news show. The interviewer asked Rory and Lisa about the early years together. As Rory began to describe their first date, his face lit up. Here's a little of what they recalled. Rory: I think she was very nervous, and I had some background about why she was nervous, some cultural things that she was trying to live with, and because of this, I knew this was going to take a long time. So I wasn't nervous at all. I figured this was a stage 1 of a 5-year marathon. Lisa: you mean you had a 5-year planned on our first date? Rory: maybe that's exaggerating, but I knew it would take more than one lunch. Lisa: wow. And then they go on, and it goes on to say under the subsection, learning from history. If a marriage is in trouble, asking that couple about the current state of affairs is not likely to elicit much mutual praise.
Well, yeah, duh.
But
Sorry.
query them about the past, and you can often detect embers of positive feelings. Of course, some marriages do come up empty. In
Mm.
these relationships, the antagonism has metastasized like a virulent cancer, actually spreading backward in time and destroying the couple's positive memories. And just a fun stat, 94% of the time, couples who put a positive spin on their marriage's history and their partner's character are likely to have a happy future as well. When happy memories are distorted, it's a sign that the marriage needs help.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? I always think about that when talking about exes. It's always been really important to me to make sure that I always remember why I was in a relationship with that person in the first place and to not allow how poorly things went to color my initial decision making,
Yeah,
right? Like, I think it's so easy to question yourself when you have a bad relationship
yeah,
that, like, if you don't keep in the forefront of your mind, like, well, I had good reason to want this person at a certain time,
yeah,
but it also helps you see, like, is that a reason to put up with what I'm putting up with now? But in a more positive case,
hmm,
when things are overall really good and you're struggling through a hard time, I could see where thinking back to the good times and the initial sparks even
hmm,
just it can really help to ease the pressure or ease the discomfort of the current qualms that you're having.
yeah, yeah. And I do appreciate the perspective of really asking a couple about their past to really know where they're at.
Mm,
Because when you stop to think about it, and I think we talked about this at one point as well, was talking about the wedding,
mm,
right? Where, because that's part of one of the six signs is like they rewrite the past where everything is bad and everything is negative. And
right.
so I had talked to friends about their weddings, and like they don't
Mm,
remember their wedding in a positive way. There was a
oof.
lot of negative things that they remembered about their weddings, and I barely found a sentence of positivity, right? And so I like knowing that even if you are in a really negative space as a couple, if you can still remember the past fondly, that
Yeah.
there is still something there. And it's just a matter, how do we,
Unearth that goodness
yeah,
that's there.
as I say, how do we weed through all of the
Mm,
everything to get to the flowers again, right?
yeah.
So I thought that was really important because, especially looking back at Dr. Rory,
Mhm.
sir, you don't even know where your back door is in the name of the family dog, right?
What if there's a fire when you're sleeping? You'd be safer at the hospital. You don't know your own house.
That's true. But I thought what was really fascinating about that is how upset he got that she brought a flippin' picnic to work for Christmas of all days. That's
Well,
insane to me.
well, the concept that that would be embarrassing is very interesting to me
Mhm.
because in what way is it embarrassing? Is it embarrassing that you have a family that cares enough about you to show up and spend time with you? Or are you actually embarrassed because you know that you could have made time to go home and spend time with your family and instead everyone gets to see what you chose not to do with your day?
Yeah.
And in that case, well, that's not really your wife's fault now, is it?
Nope.
You're embarrassed because of your own behavior, but that's the only like sensical place for me that there would be the actual sensation of embarrassment.
Mhm.
That's the only reason to be embarrassed because you
Unless you're
know
having
you
an
should be
affair,
embarrassed because you should be at home with your kids watching them open their fucking presents.
unless you're
That's
having
embarrassing that you chose not to when your family cares about you enough to show up to your workplace when you could have taken the day off. You're right, that is embarrassing.
or unless you're having an affair or flirting real heavy with some people, and then your colleagues see your family walk in and they're like, "Oh shit." But maybe that's just me. Maybe I watch too much reality TV
I'm going to go with that. To
show.
say that's not even remotely the case here, though. The case
Yeah.
here is just he's a workaholic and he knows he put his job over his family on Christmas Day of all days. And for them to show up, it puts the spotlight on that.
Yeah, that's fair. Especially if you're a workaholic. Like I think there's a thought that like somebody's gonna have to be there for Christmas, right? But like,
Yeah.
did it have to be him?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's keep it moving. So in the workbook, Principle 2, Nurture Fondness and Admiration, and a lot of the opening pages gives a little blurb about what's going on.
Right.
So it says, it is easy to take each other for granted. When you openly share with your partner what you appreciate about them, it strengthens your bond. When you create a firm foundation of affection, honor, and respect, it is much easier to overcome problem areas in a positive and productive way. Building a climate of appreciation also protects against contempt.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you feel like your friendship is stable and happy, you can always heighten your fondness and admiration for each other. Friendship is the foundation for passion, intimacy, and good sex. When your friendship is strong, other areas of your relationship flourish. Affection, fondness, and admiration can be rekindled.
Mm-hmm. So, exercise one, I appreciate.
It
Let's
says
see.
reflect and journal. What feelings and memories do you have of your partner early on in the relationship?
So, the feelings and memories I have early on, it's actually funny because I was just talking about this the other day that even initially seeing your profile on Bumble, I was like, oh, I don't know. She seems probably just a little out of my league. I'm not so sure about that. But I was like, might as well throw my hat in the ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I did. And I just I don't know, it's very interesting because I have never stopped being impressed by you,
Hmm.
but in getting to know you better and understanding how your awesomeness is tempered by your self-awareness and your empathy and your kindness and humility, I think that while you have a great sense of self and a very high opinion of yourself, it's a well earned high opinion. But I also know that you don't take yourself too seriously.
Mm.
And so it's been kind of fun watching how like in some ways there's still a little bit of that like damn, what kind of lottery did I win?
Oh my goodness.
But in a lot of ways too, it's like we balance each other so well,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even
Yeah.
even like the other day, you went to we had our niece all day, and I was feeling pretty run ragged, and I was in like a holy hoodie that's kind of half fallen apart
Oh, the
and
best kind of hoodie.
and sweatpants and a
Yes.
beanie,
That
and
is a Michigan winter.
I was just like you know, I was frazzled. I was
Mm-hmm.
frazzled. And you had gotten ready and you were looking all sharp because you were going to an awards banquet. And I just that night after you left to go to the awards banquet, I was like, man, that would have been such a great opportunity to take a picture of the two of us because we seem like such an odd couple sometimes, I think. Like like that is such a, such a picture of us, right? Like you just looking so sharp and so fly and me just in my total ratty bumming around letting a toddler take me hostage for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but I really thought what a great picture that would be of us because in truth, like you are able to go do that, to attend that awards banquet because I was staying home even after, my niece got picked up. I was staying home and I was cooking and I was cleaning things up and I was taking care of the house, and it's like kind of that, and maybe a heteronormative stereotypical kind of picture, I guess, but really just understanding the balance that we bring to each
Mhm.
other. That, like, I was perfectly content to be at home taking care of things while you were out, rubbing elbows with folks and meeting new people and
Mhm.
whatnot. And so, in a lot of ways, I think people could look from the outside and say, like, oh man, she's, what does she see in her? But at the same time, I know how well we balance each other, and like how the places that you don't have it together are the places that you let me hold you together.
Mhm. Yeah. Aw.
So that's my memories and feelings from early on in my relationship with you, is coming to that understanding that I bring a lot to your life that you need, no matter how capable and strong and amazing you are, that there's still some things that, you know, only the right partner can bring into your life. And I try to be that partner.
Oh, I love you, Boo.
Love you, sweetness.
Mm. Yeah. Uh, okay.
Yeah. You good? You good?
I'm good. So I actually wrote things down. So when I think about early on in the relationship, I think a lot of the feelings that I had were very much a lot of excitement, a lot of relief,
Hmm.
and also a little trepidation because
Hmm.
it was a lot of it was exciting, one, because it was the first time I had dated a woman, which was a whole thing. Especially okay, so for anybody that doesn't know, we started dating on Bumble in October of 2020 during the pandemic, and let me just tell you, I had a short lesbian relationship with a friend that I didn't realize I had a lesbian relationship with.
The gayest of all relationships, the ones you didn't even know you were in.
Yeah, but I also had spent the entire summer watching everything gay, all
Oh
the
my
lesbian you
goodness.
could find.
All the
And
lesbian you could find.
so when we started dating, it was very exciting, a little nerve-wracking, but very exciting. But the thing that was really exciting about it too was that I was dating somebody who I felt was my emotional equal,
Mm.
where
Mm-hmm.
we just had a very good connection. We were very interested in a lot of the same things.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to have deep and meaningful conversations then, and so that was very exciting for me.
Mm.
But there was also a lot of hesitation because I was very well aware of the chemical cocktail phase. And so I was worried that like all of these things were only this good because we were in the new midst of the relationship, or and I didn't think that you were being somebody that you weren't, but I also was hesitant that some of these things were happening primarily because of the cocktail, right? So that was
Have you found that to be incorrect?
where the trepidation came in. And then what was the other word I used? Exciting, nervousness. I don't know. But anyways, so that's kind of what the emotions that I had. But I was also super happy because we were very similar and things just fell into place so seamlessly with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So what I wrote was, where do I even start? The first memories I always think of is all the times we walked the river trail and just talked about everything that
Mm.
helped to shape the relationship we have. The lavender lattes and cinnamon rolls,
Mm-hmm.
and I also frequently think about my bullet pointed list. The way that you would dance as you got ready for work, Harry Belafonte radio,
Mm-hmm.
morning dance parties,
Mm-hmm.
the thoughtful and spicy messages we'd send, walking Nora around DeWitt or taking her to the cemetery dog park, which we have discussed, stopping for ice cream, morning sex,
Mm.
traveling, And I always and still do feel protected, safe, that I can unapologetically be myself, grounded, home, joyful, healthy, sexy, sensual,
Mm,
beautiful, loved, and cherished.
yes. You
Yeah.
are all those things for sure.
Thanks, baby. I know
Mhm.
that.
You're so cute.
You're so cute. So I think I like the activity of like, I feel like for us,
Our
looking, we
beginnings.
talk about our beginnings quite frequently.
Yeah.
And I feel like at least every few months we somehow circle back to those things.
Oh,
But, but
100%.
I can see how if you've been in a relationship for a very long time,
Right.
that maybe that's not something that you think about frequently, or it's something that maybe you only revisit on your anniversary or something like that. I could see how that would be a thing.
Right. Or that you kind of start lumping things together more and more and lose some of the finer details.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah.
sure. For sure. So the next exercise is I appreciate. So complete I appreciate exercise and share the answers with your partner. Select 5 appreciations you'd like to express towards your partner. Give a specific example of when your partner displayed the action or quality that you appreciate. Write it below. So
Do you want to go
basically,
back and forth?
we totally can.
Okay.
Yes.
1 to 1.
Hmm.
Okay.
So basically, the book has a ginormous list of things that you can select from that you appreciate your partner. So I'll just go ahead and read my first one. I appreciate you always taking care of the laundry. It's nice to not have to worry about my clothes.
Oh, you're welcome. Uh, I appreciate the way that we laughed together, from having the same thought to saying the same thing to looking back at our adventures together. These are always moments that we have laughed together.
Thank you so much for supporting me through the stress and sadness of dealing with my mother this past year.
Oh, of
I
course.
appreciate your support.
I appreciate how you listen to my thoughts and feelings with kindness while you validate them, even if you don't agree. Oftentimes, this happens when I need to question my own perspective, like what's currently settling in with one of our friends.
Thank you for bringing me flowers just because last week.
Oh, yeah, they were so pretty.
They were so pretty. And I like that I got to add them to the last bundle of flowers that you brought me. It was nice.
I appreciate your love of awful puns, jokes, and reels. Our relationship gets its lightness and fun from you because of this.
Thank you for jamming out to my EDM rock mashup in the car this week. It was fun to jam out together.
It was really good.
I
It was
I
really
love
good.
I really appreciate it because I know you do not like EDM and you don't really like rock. So putting them together, I was like, "Oh, this is nightmare fuel for you, but this is such a good song you have to hear."
It was really good. I appreciate that
I'm
you made me
really
listen to
I'm really glad that you appreciated it. But
it.
just in general, you being open to it and then just jamming out with me or even just watching me jam out while you laugh at me. I appreciate that you can indulge my whimsical side.
Yeah, of
Thank
course,
you.
baby. Uh, did you read 4?
That was
Okay,
4.
sorry. I appreciate your love of being out and putzing in the yard. I love just watching you from the laundry room window, sometimes even joining you, but also it's things I don't like to do. You do the yard work, I don't like to do it. And I know that
I was like, when did I do yard work?
I mean, it's just one of the things that you do that I appreciate,
Hmm.
honestly. I'm on let me enjoy the outside just by being there, not working in it. And so it is something that I personally would like to grow in a little bit more, but I do appreciate that you're willing to take on those tasks. But then I sometimes wonder like I mean, I do appreciate it, but like at the same time, I kind of just gave you an ultimatum about it too. Because I was like, either you can do it or we're hiring somebody to do it, but I'm not doing this work. So
Which I find really interesting because I didn't want to have to walk a dog outside on a leash every time it had to pee, which was why I was like, no, we need a fucking yard.
that's also
It
fair.
wasn't even my dog. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And
And it's so
Lord
funny
knows
because
that I can't say no to you enough to never end up having to do that if we didn't have a yard.
but it's
So
so funny because I would be fine walking a dog outside so I didn't have to do all the yard work that comes along with having a yard. So here we are.
yes.
I love you.
I love you. When was the last time you cleaned the litter boxes?
I don't own a cat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, um, number 5. To be fair, this was how it was said. It didn't say thank you in the book. This is straight from the list. You taste delicious. Thank you for letting me taste my fill, even when I leave you wanting.
Wait, what? That was not in the book.
Yes, it
No, it
was.
was not.
Yes, it is. It
is not.
It is. Let's see.
Oh my god, it is.
I told you. I was gonna put you smell so good, but I didn't want to get too explicit.
Right under thanks for taking a bath with me. It says thank you for
Wait,
taking
you
me
think
out.
the Gottmans been married for 800 years without without getting down and dirty sometimes? Come on now.
Because it says thank you for taking me out to dinner. That was great. Thank you for taking a bath with me. You taste delicious. I just want you to know I didn't actually look at any of these in the book to write this list. I did not.
That's not following directions very well. And
Sorry.
just to be clear, my profession is very much staked on how well I follow directions. So
Okay.
I the other than the very first one when I said I appreciate, I even worded it the way the book did the rest of the time.
But can we just talk about the level of which our brain vibes go together? Because my number 5,
Tell me.
I appreciate being intimate with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do.
From emotional intimacy where we can share everything with each other and be loved and supported to making love with you in all the ways.
Mm-hmm.
The way these two things elevate our relationship is magic.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish we were totally filming this right now just because
your face hurts now.
Yeah.
You're like, oh god, you're so you're so fucking cute.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus Christ! Did you do this one?
No, but
Okay.
we talked about what we were skipping and what we were not skipping.
Good.
So, exercise 2 asks for you and your partner to take a trip down memory lane, possibly going through your wedding album, talking about date night keepsakes, which I think we talked about. We do have a box of keepsakes from our coupledom, and but we didn't get it out. We actually haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of this stuff together. That's a lie. We have. Well, that's not a lie. You've been very busy with work.
Yeah.
But also,
I think what we said was we were just going to get the box out while we were live recording and just go through it together. But I don't even need a box to
go through
jog some of these things, which
honestly,
I mean, I kind of talked about them in the beginning.
I mean, we did talk about them in the beginning. I will say, in general, I find that with this principle, the longer your relationship has been, or the worse shape your relationship is, I could see this being more and more critical.
Yeah.
Right? I think for us, it was kind of hard actually working through this exercise for principle 2, just because we already spend so much time talking about like the history we've had together, you know, what worked for us then that doesn't work for us now? What are we
Mhm.
missing now that we had then? How can we recapture some of these things? How do we grow
Mhm.
from some of these issues?
Let
You
me
know.
so to be explicitly clear, one of the things that we do is while we are on social media, while you are on social media a lot, you do send a lot of thought-provoking reels to me and I to
Mm-hmm.
you. And one of the things that we had found a few years ago was a reel that talked about doing weekly check-ins with your partner.
Yeah.
And from time to time we do get off a track from doing them weekly, but we are very consistent at least about
Mm.
doing a check-in at at the bare
Monthly.
minimum quarterly at the bare minimum. But for
I
the
feel
most
like there
part
has
we
to be a lot going on for us to not have
yeah,
a monthly check-in. But yeah, at
yeah,
least quarterly,
but
I
for
would
the most
agree.
part we do a monthly check-in where we just ask the question of like,
Are you happy?
are you happy? Is there anything that you need me to do more? Is there anything you need me to do less? Like we do that really consistently. So because we are consistently talking about our relationship and our past, it is a little difficult to do some of these activities because we do them anyway.
Right, because this is something that is so integrated into our lives
Yes.
anyway.
But I can tell you from coming from a previous 20-year relationship, I could see how this would have been super super helpful
Hmm.
in my last relationship
Right.
because it was not something that was done consistently.
Right. But like we've only been together for 5 years, which I'm sure would seem like a lot to a lot of people, but
Hmm.
I'm just like, I feel like we'll be 15 years into this and be like, I don't know, we talk about our first date all the time. What are you talking about? you
That 10
know,
hour date video chat where
exactly.
neither one of
How
us
are
ate
you going to
anything.
forget that? I love talking about that. So anyway, so we skipped exercise too because we spend a lot of time rehashing our past and appreciating, the ways that we fell in love with each other and the all the things.
Yeah.
So we skipped to exercise 3, cherishing your partner. Something I think we do a lot of, but let's do more. Let's do it now. Oh my gosh, do you want to go back and forth or do you
Let's go back and forth.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you want to start? You want me to start?
I'll start. So, cherishing your partner, the instructions say from the list at the right, circle 10 qualities that you cherish in your partner. Feel free to write in other positive qualities as well. And there is, like with the book, there is specific page numbers that will give you the qualities that you can find. Oh,
Yes.
actually, no, sorry, F that. In the workbook, also, there are just a list of qualities. And then it
Yeah.
says it's helpful to keep this list handy and review it when you are alone to focus on your fond feelings toward your partner and to trigger a sense of gratitude.
Mm.
Now,
Yes. You have a look upon your face.
should I tell them about your wedding day gift?
If you want.
Okay. Mm. Okay, let's do it after. I'll do it after.
Okay.
Okay. So, quality. And the other thing is too, it asks you to list the quality and then it asks you to write the occasion in which you've seen the quality. I think that's important because it's not actually in the
Right. Give an
instructions. So
example
give an
of
example.
seeing this quality shine through.
Yeah, there we are again. Restating the same thing somebody else just
Yes, for our audience who maybe learns differently.
said. Okay.
Are you done
Qua-
with your coffee? Can I have it?
Quality. Inventive. Uh so I don't really have specific moments for the most part. So I just put,
You are so bad at following instructions.
hey. So the quality is inventive, and the occasion is just obstacle solving. Your obstacle solving is on point. Chef's kiss to your obstacle solving.
What obstacles? All of them? Any of them?
Just in general. That's why I said I don't have like a specific time.
And what is the quality that you're not describing?
Inventive.
Inventive. Okay.
Yeah. I think at the time when I wrote that, I think I was really, I think like house stuff popped into my head.
Mm.
Like when we were,
Like the design of this awesome bookcase.
yes, things like that.
It's pretty cool.
It is really
Gotta
cool.
say. If I had executed it better, real chef's kiss. Next one will turn out better. Anyway, all right. The first quality I have, shockingly, ambitious.
Mm, true.
The occasion, the applications you put in for these great speaking engagements slash workshops.
Mm,
I think that that's a great show of your ambition. You're not afraid to put yourself out there to improve your credibility by putting your expertise on display.
thanks, baby.
That's an ambitious task.
Thank you. The next one I have for you is witty.
Mm.
Your comebacks and your snark and jokes, none other. Top notch.
Top notch.
And I love and that's the thing about wit that's so great, right? Is
Mm.
it's always in a moment.
I
Just like
know.
right when it's like just all the things come together enough that it's like just this one little thing that happens and it's like that was great.
You want to know one of my favorites?
Hmm.
In like 2018, someone said, dude, it's 3 feet away. And I said, but Nick, he only has 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
That was almost a decade ago, and I'm like, so good. Just little joy in my soul.
That's fair.
All right. Quality. Appreciative. You were very appreciative about how Valentine's Day went. You consistently thanked me and let me know how much you liked not only what I did, but how you felt about it and how you enjoyed it.
I was appreciative.
I know.
Uh, Side blurb. So for Valentine's Day this year, we did Pints and Poses, which was yoga inside of a brew house with mimosas. And then
Mm-hmm.
we stayed for food and more mimosas. By the way, oh my God, those mushroom fries were delicious. I totally
Those
go
are
back to
really
those.
good.
We stayed for more drinks and food, and then we left from there to like an entertainment center. It's Zap Zone for us, but entertainment center where there's like arcades and axe throwing and football bowling and
Go-kart
go-kart
racing.
racing. And so we spent like 4 hours there, and then after that we went to the bookstore and bought books. So I appreciated it.
Yeah. Got you drunk and challenged you to
Can you
games.
believe they let people drive go-karts while drinking and throw axes?
I mean, they do make you wear a helmet. The axe throwing is a
That's a
little
little
questionable.
questionable.
That I could see going so wrong so quickly, but like, it's not my liability.
Thank you. But yeah, so I did really appreciate it. It was a fun time. Uh, your quality, skillful. So you're just resourceful when you complete projects. Like the skills that you have been able to acquire, like building this bookshelf. Like one of the things that was really impressive to me when we first started dating was the bookshelves that you had.
Mm,
And I was like, oh,
these ones.
oh shit,
These
you
other
built a
two.
bookshelf. And then like just kind of seeing even in the time that we've been together from the way that you assembled the bookshelf before we
Mm,
started dating to how you assembled this bookshelf is
mm-hmm.
vastly different. So I just really appreciate the skillfulness that you have, which is also resourcefulness.
Hmm.
I guess that's a word on there that I did. It's fine.
Okay. Quality. Authentic. Just your constant state of being. You are just through and through a very authentic person, and you never try to be anything than 100% yourself.
Oh, thanks, baby. Can I just tell you that is probably by far the best compliment that I have ever received in my entire life
You're
is,
welcome.
well, thanks. It wasn't for you. It wasn't from you at the time, but
Fine.
um I had started a new job and I was working with this one girl and her and I were having a conversation about something and then a call came in and we had to leave, but she stopped me and she said, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." I was like, "For what?" She's like, "This is the most authentic conversation I've had
Mm,
in years." And I was
mm.
like, "Well, you're welcome."
I just tell you that the idea of what her life must be just grosses me out. If like you
I
can if
mean,
you can go years without an authentic, I can't imagine going a year without an authentic conversation.
it just depends on who your people are,
No, no, I get it. I see how it happens. I'm just
Mhm.
saying I don't think I could do it,
Yeah. But yeah,
which is
I
part of why I so appreciate that about you,
thank
how
you.
authentic you are.
Thank you. I appreciate that you appreciate that.
Yeah.
Spontaneous.
Hmm.
So I love that you're spontaneous. I will say I do feel like I have dampened this a little bit for you
Hmm.
just because I know that because I'm ambitious, it really requires a lot of planning for me to do things.
Well, and you're also good at planning, which makes spontaneous activities less awesome, if we're honest about it.
It depends on what it is.
Eh.
But I do appreciate that you are spontaneous.
Thanks. Um, Creative.
Mm.
Watching you create Love Spark, just the conceptualizing and then just pulling the idea. I mean, maybe not the idea out of thin air, but everything you've created, all the materials you've created, the website you created, like everything that you are able to bring out of your mind and into physical existence is just really, really cool.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah, it's impressive. I love your creativity.
It's the way saying it that way.
Hmm.
I guess as a creative person, you never really think about it like that. Like to
Hmm.
me, I'm like, this is my idea and this is where it's going to be and that's just what happens and that's just
Hmm.
what's going to happen. But like to really stop and put it into perspective
It's magic.
that you do take something just a thought, an idea and ultimately make it reality.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
yeah.
Thanks.
You're weaving magic.
Oh, thanks, baby.
You're taking an idea and giving it form.
Mm.
It's beautiful.
Quality, fun and funny, always. I love that because I do feel like sometimes I take myself too seriously.
Mm.
And I think that because of that, I feel like I'm not as fun and I'm definitely not fucking funny. I'm definitely not.
You can be sometimes.
Very rare occasions.
It's it's known to happen.
It's known to happen. But I do really appreciate that you are a very fun person and you get a lot of joy out of the fun that can be had and finding fun and being funny. I love that you're funny and that
I
you
mean, what would life be if I somehow hadn't laughed after flinging toothpaste from my mouth into my eye? That doesn't make any physical sense. It happened. Not sure how it happened,
I'm
but
not sure
like
how it happened
I could
either.
have been really upset and been like, "Yeah, Burns, why are you laughing at me? This burns a lot. You should be helping me." But why would I spend energy doing that when objectively that is ridiculous?
It kind of is.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And honestly, I do a lot of things that are just like, wow, that defied physics. Weird. But like, you know, what is life if not for to have fun?
Mm,
And what a waste of energy to get mad over something that really is just kind of silly.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Um Ethical.
Mm.
So we actually just recently we were discussing lab ethics and data ethics, and it was just really nice to be able to have that conversation with you and feel really reassured in my own stance,
Hmm.
because there are times that, even though I work in what should be a very strict scientific environment,
Hmm.
because of how removed we are as individuals from our own personal liability and what we do, it's
Hmm.
so easy for those ethical lines to get blurred. And because of that, because of the environment that I'm in, sometimes I do feel like I am a little too intense about things
Mhm.
when everyone else is like, it's not that big of a deal. And I'm like, no, it is though.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to be able to come home and talk to you about it and you be like, no, yeah, that's not cool. You're like, thank you.
But this is the problem with an environment like that,
Ugh.
is that when you are that far removed from consequences,
Hmm.
people act like that. But here's what ultimately eventually happens.
Oh, it comes down.
It's not if, but when,
Yeah.
right? My first field training officer always said this. It's not
Mm.
a matter of if, but when. And
Hmm.
that's what happens. It's a matter of when somebody keeps doing what they're doing and it comes back in a big way, and then it completely rocks the entire business, the entire department. But ultimately, it whittles down to one person. And then it becomes a problem where we're like, oh, I didn't realize this could happen.
Yeah.
No, you've always known it could happen. You just chose to ignore it and do what you want.
Right.
So like, no, I greatly appreciate that you still maintain that focus and that integrity.
Yeah, but I do think that it is a rare thing to come across people who not only have strong ethics but can stand strong in them,
Mm, yeah.
right? And especially I think for you and I, the work that we do, we work in environments where it's very easy to just go with the flow
Hmm.
and go with what the team is doing and whatever. But I really, really appreciate that you stand firm in your beliefs and your ethics in a way that is uncompromising
Oh, thanks, baby.
while also being very open to gray area
Yeah.
existing.
Yeah, I thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
that.
you.
Yeah. Uh, your intelligence, both academically and emotionally.
Mm,
I I I feel like a lot of people can be that way. Sometimes I also feel like a lot of people may fall into one or the other,
mm,
right? But I appreciate that you have both because it really does lend for amazing conversation. And it also lends to the way at which we solve problems together by coming
mm.
from completely different perspectives and completely different angles. And yet somehow we always reach the same conclusion. And I think that because you have both academic and emotional intelligence, it makes our life so interesting and
Mm,
it makes our conversation so interesting. And that's one of the things about our relationship that I love the most is that we can have conversations. For me as a person to be mentally and emotionally stimulated is something that
mm.
I have to have within a
Yeah.
relationship. And so it's not, it's, oh my God, it's like I intentionally sought out a person who could do those things. But I just do
Weird.
appreciate, and I think it also comes down to the fact that you still leave space for growth.
Mm,
Part of the
mm-hmm.
emotional intelligence part, right? And
Right.
so it's never dull or boring.
Aw, thanks.
You're welcome.
I like how our qualities have been like rolling into each other pretty well.
Yeah.
Next one I have is feisty.
Okay.
um, I put, for example, watching how pissed you get at
Want me to?
yeah, watching how pissed you get at my mom.
Oh, is that what that really says?
Yes.
It took a minute for you to read that writing.
Well, because there's something at the end there, but it's TBH.
Oh,
And I was like, what the fuck did I write there? But because it's like into the spiral
okay.
thing of the
Yeah.
notebook. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I am feisty whatsoever. I think it takes a lot to get
Mm-hmm.
any kind of feisty out of me,
Mm-hmm.
but I do appreciate your feistiness and
Mm.
and watching you be comfortable getting worked up about things and like I mean, even pretty early on in us getting together when you like almost got into a fist fight in that parking lot
Oh
with
my
that lady and her
god.
dog.
I would not have
Not the lady and her dog, but the lady because of how
I
she was treating her
wouldn't have
dog.
gotten into it.
I think you would have probably punched that lady in
So
the
I stopped
face
that
if she had
sentence.
done anything else to that dog. But the point,
I probably would have marched my ass over there and
I
fucking
have
punched her in the face.
I have no doubt, and I appreciate that about you because I'm not that person. But here's the thing: at that time, I was not that person, even though I very much agreed with
Mhm.
your sentiments. And being around you and witnessing how you appropriately leverage your feistiness
Mm.
makes me feel more comfortable in my own righteous
Mm.
anger.
Let me just tell you.
Just to be clear, this lady was being very mean to her dog in a way that was very borderline of what you might call abusive. And Tanya was not having it.
No. Oh, it just even thinking about it now sets my fucking soul on fire. I swear to God.
I know. It was not cool.
I
Some
mean,
people shouldn't be
don't
pet
get me wrong.
owners.
I have grabbed Nora by the scruff of her neck when she's being an asshole, right?
Sure,
But this,
but like even that for a dog,
that's
that's
like,
like giving the mom voice basically because that's
yeah, that's
what
what mom
yeah, that's what they do. They
mom
put their
dogs
teeth
do.
on the scruff. They
Yeah,
don't bite and, hurt them, but
yeah,
you can scare them and be
yeah,
like, "Hey, get together."
yeah. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. You're right. I am very feisty, even at your mom. Um, and that's the thing. Like,
But like it's hard for me to really feel angry at her. So it's really
how come you
nice.
don't feel angry at her, or why is that hard for you?
Um that we don't have time to get into all that if we're honest about it. You ask me again later. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's actually very validating for me to
Mm,
watch you get angry. And I think, just to touch on it a bit, part of the reason it's very difficult for me is because I what I don't think I was ever really allowed to be angry at her or to
mm,
I wasn't allowed to display anger towards her.
okay.
So and even feeling angry towards her, there was always a some sort of messaging of like how I didn't have a right to be
Mm,
angry,
okay.
right? So it's very validating for me to watch you get angry on my behalf and be like, okay, my anger must be justified
Yeah.
because my partner can also see what's happening and she's angry.
Yeah.
So it's not that when you're told your whole life, like you're just upset because you're twisting things and making things up to be mad about.
You're too sensitive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like always painted as your psychology is twisted and that's
Mhm.
why you're feeling the way
Mhm.
you're
Mhm.
feeling. It's very hard
Mhm.
to not question your feelings.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think one of the things that I think I have done as I've aged, as I feel like a lot of people do, I've really started to fall into this space of like, what the fuck ever, life is life, right?
Yeah.
And I have found that I am a very righteous warrior. Even my tarot says so. That like
Yes.
I for myself am pretty laid back, but when it feels like there's been an injustice, it really
Mm,
makes me angry.
yeah.
And so I'm pretty calm and chill about a lot of things until I find and I think I find that when things become emotionally
Charged.
charged is where I get the most like righteousness, right?
Mm,
And I think that one time, if your mom hadn't been doing what she was doing, I think that at one time I would have been feisty just because you felt bad about something. Even if I were to logically see that I shouldn't be and like your mom was in the right about something, I would still feel feisty towards her on your behalf. But I have moved past to the point where I can accept other people's wrongdoings in a way and not be feisty on their behalf. And
mm,
so now I'm in a space where I'm feisty because it's deserved, not because I'm just
Right.
trying to validate somebody else, you
Right.
know? But
I
yeah,
can see that.
and that fucking lady and the dog, I swear to God. That just makes my soul so angry right now.
Yeah, sorry to bring it up.
That's okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, so that was that. Wise. I really appreciate your advice and perspective sharing. I think that as we do with all things, we come at things very differently, but that's one of the reasons that I sometimes will ask you, am I viewing this correctly?
Mm.
Because I know that for me, and really I heard this quote somewhere the other day that said, um, oh, I know where I heard it. It said it's that wisdom comes from painful experiences, but with no by no longer experiencing the emotion of that experience. Right?
Mm.
So when you go through an
Mhm.
experience, there's usually an emotion tied to it,
Yes.
especially a painful one.
Mhm.
But once you move past the emotion itself and you
Yes.
can look back on the experience for what it was, that's where wisdom comes from.
Mm.
And so I appreciate that I can have those conversations with you when I know that I might be emotionally charged and I could be perceiving something only through a state of emotion and not actually logic or
Mm.
reality. And so I do appreciate your wisdom.
Right. Okay. Uh, I also put fun as a quality.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. And I put the occasion was playing at Zap Zone together because yeah, I might have planned that date, but like I could not plan that with somebody who wasn't fun.
That's true.
Like the fact that you would be like, Pixel, what's this? Oh my gosh, let's play. And then
It was so fun.
we're like, all right, what level should we play? And I was like, 4. And you're like, are you sure? And I was like, I guess we'll find out. And you're like, okay. And then we found out that we are not in shape enough for a level 4.
We
But
fucked around and found
we
out is what
did.
we
But
did.
like, we had fun finding out. But just the fact that you were so down and just up to jump in and play whatever, and like, we could have had a much more laid back chill time than we did, but
Hmm.
because you were willing to embrace having fun with me, like, yeah, we didn't just drink and throw the axe a couple of times. No, we played the games. We played
Hmm.
Connect Four and Tic Tac Toe with the axe, and we signed up for the go kart. And then we're like, oh, let's see if we can get a drink in before we get the go karting. And even just wandering around and watching people play like the claw games and
Hmm.
stuff. It's just so nice to be with a partner who embraces having fun. Even if it's not top of mind all the time,
Hmm.
I'm never worried that you're going to be annoyed with me for not taking a situation seriously or planning a not serious date.
Mm.
Or, like
Yeah.
I know that yes, there are times to be serious, but there are also times that you don't need to be serious. And I think a lot of people, it's easy to point out the type of person who doesn't know when to
Mm.
stop taking
Yeah.
when to stop making a joke out of things.
Yeah.
But I think we give less credit, or, we give less attention to the fact that there are also people who can't stop being serious. And
Yeah,
that's
that's true too.
and that's just as annoying,
Oh my God,
honestly.
right though.
Sometimes more so.
Speaking of people, let me just tell you. Speaking of fun and Valentine's Day, I have not been to the gym, the work gym, in 2-ish weeks, 2 weeks at
Yes.
least.
Yes, I recall that.
And before I left, H's lady was out of town for 3 weeks, and
Oh
she
yeah,
was
yeah.
getting back on February 13th.
Mm.
And they had plans. He was going to take her to a candlelight concert, which we have been to, and they're great. They were
Oh,
going to,
was he gonna go to the Romeo and Juliet one?
I don't know, probably then.
I was gonna say there was one. I thought about it, but honestly, the story of Romeo and Juliet pisses me off so fucking much. I was like, "There's no goddamn way in hell I'm taking her to
There
anything
is a
Romeo and."
hip hop candlelight concert at a church that
Yeah, it's
should
the
be like
same
this.
church, the United Methodist. That's
Yeah,
where we went to that other
yeah, that
concert.
should be this week or so. Anyways, point being is that he was taking her to that and they were going to go out to dinner together. And I was like, oh, that's super sweet. And I was thinking about maybe I should try to get tickets or something. Anyways, point being, and I have thought about this since we did our Valentine's Day, and I'm actually kind of annoyed I haven't been back in the gym because I want to tell him what we did and just see what his reaction would be. I feel like
He'd be
he
jealous.
is a little too serious of a person, and I don't
Mm.
know if he I would just be curious to see his reaction because I personally feel like he is a serious person and I don't know if
Ah.
he would have actually appreciated it.
You know what he wouldn't have appreciated? The freaking go kart that I got stuck behind that whole second half of that race.
But yeah. So I feel like Wednesday I have to go in because I want to see his face to know
Fair.
would he appreciate that that as a date. Okay, so I would like to combine these next two, if I may. Thank you. Uh, thank you.
What have I said about following the instructions?
It's not the point. So the next two qualities I wrote basically go together,
Uh-huh.
and I put brave, so bravery and courageous.
Mm.
And the reason that they go together for me is because brave to me is seeing what needs to happen,
Mm.
but courage is doing what needs to be done.
Mm.
Right? You can be brave. I feel like it's very brave to see what's there and what needs to happen,
Mm.
but only a courageous person can take the bravery to the next level by being courageous and doing what needs to happen or doing what needs to be done.
Mm. I never really thought about the difference between bravery and courage before.
I mean, everybody talks about courage being doing the action in the face of fear,
Right.
right? Um,
Yeah. No, I like that. I really like
but I
that.
feel that's to me how I define them.
Hmm. Thanks, baby.
You're welcome, my love.
Was that your last two?
No, I still have the last one, but I just the example for that is everything that's happening with your mom. You know, it's very brave to acknowledge the person that she is and what needed to be done and the actions that needed to be taken. And it's very courageous that you took them. And also very courageous that you put a pin in it where you did.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hmm. I have joyful.
Hmm.
Um, every time you tell me to look at the moon,
Oh.
is the occasion that I have.
Hmm.
But just in general, I feel like I am usually pretty good about like really stopping to take in, just the wonder of the world around me.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that that's a very, very rare thing to find in another person.
Mm.
And the fact that you will stop me on a walk and say, do you smell that? Just for the smell of leaves.
Yeah.
Or that when, um, when you know that I am enjoying some food, you'll be like, yeah, go ahead, take your time. And like, you'll just be quiet for me while I really close my eyes and just embrace the flavors or,
Mm-hmm.
but like the joy that exists in truly being present.
Yeah.
I find that that is such a beautiful quality to me in a person, and I find it incredibly attractive, but it's something that's also rare to see in small ways,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the time that I got to see the buck on a walk at 5 a.m.?
You did actually tell me about that.
Yeah.
Should I do another one since you did
Yes.
too?
Yes.
Loving
Mm.
the way you cuddle me and the way that you let me cuddle you. And just, I think in general, the way that you are so open to how cuddly I am and how affectionate I am
Mm-hmm.
and how, touchy feely I can be, even when it's maybe a little much. And you're like, okay, all right, okay. But, I think that you are an extremely loving person and you're not afraid to show that lovingness and you're you don't shy away from allowing me to show my love to you either.
Thanks, baby.
Hmm. Thank you.
My final one for you,
Mm.
enterprising.
Hmm.
I think that, and we've talked about, how my level of ambition is different from your level of ambition. But I think that between the real estate ideas that you have, and I'm not just talking about basic flipping rentals. I'm talking about like the motel that you saw on Old 27 and what it could be, or different buildings that are around and what they could be. Like, I really appreciate the way that you have that enterprising mindset and how something simple could be something so grand. I greatly appreciate that about you.
So you're open to buying that mobile home park in Rex Junction?
You're gonna have to do that on your own because I would like to buy a building for the store. So I don't think that's gonna look good for for a level of personal debt to buy a store.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. Okay. Fair enough. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I think I would appreciate the term visionary more, but I'll take enterprising.
Okay, fair enough.
Rolling your eyes at me.
It's like
Okay.
breathing for me.
As discussed in the last episode,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure. The last one I have for you is trustworthy.
Hmm,
And my occasion is that you just are.
fair enough.
And I drew a heart.
Oh, thanks, baby.
See, is not a very good
I
one.
see it though.
Really? Without your
I
glasses?
squinted good enough.
I saw that. Yeah, I just don't have concerns
You know what I think about
ever at all, I guess.
trustworthiness? Because I am very
You're
trustworthy.
you're transparent.
Everybody tells me everything. I am
Yeah.
a bolt. If you
Yeah.
tell me so, but I think the reason that people find me so trustworthy is because I'm so authentic.
Yeah.
To me, I have nothing to hide,
Yeah.
and that's a whole process of why I am the way that I am and I think the way that I think. But um this is why strangers in the grocery store, like to tell me things I do not need to know about a person that I don't know personally, but somehow they do.
Well, like for example, I thought about this morning.
Hmm.
I thought about, "Oh, I wonder if the person you met for coffee, I wonder if their partner has any concerns about you guys going on vacation together."
Why would their partner have concerns about us going on vacation together?
I don't know. I don't. But like I don't know, it just occurred to me that like in the queer community, it's so like it's more and less complex, I guess, to have your partner go on a friendcation because of
um
the like
Implication that something could happen.
thank you, the implications,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because they're a part of the queer community.
Right,
her
exactly.
her and I ride the bi train.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? And so I thought about that and that like because their relationship is heteronormative seeming from the outside,
Mm-hmm.
while I know that their partner is not in any way, shape, or form
Yeah.
like typical in that heteronormativity,
Yeah.
it still occurred to me, like,
Mm.
because I am not concerned about it,
Mm.
and I was thinking about how not concerned I am about it, and like,
I mean, but you have a good reason to not be concerned about it, though.
well, I have plenty of great
I mean, you
reasons
have
to,
plenty of great reasons, but
but
like,
really, I thought about, like, if somebody asked me
mm,
my comfort level of
yeah.
you going on vacation with another woman, be like, why would I be concerned about it?
Oh my God, that's as dumb as like people being like, oh my God, that guy's gay, which means they're checking out every guy in the locker room. First of all, that might be true, but that's not the point. But first of all, no, just because it's like, dude, you might be straight, but are you attracted to every fucking woman that you see? No.
Oh, that's not, that even not even where I was going with
Oh
this.
no.
No,
Oh.
because it honestly, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter whether or not you found that person attractive or whether or not you were
But I feel like that's how people view it, like from the
right.
outside. That's why I said that.
Sure, 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 sure. But that none of that matters to me
Yeah.
because you are a loyal person and I
Yeah.
trust you.
Hmm.
So it doesn't matter. Like, the only concern I would have is if you were like, baby, this is like a hall pass opportunity for me, and I would really like to know where you're standing on this. Where you're on this fence, right? Like, I think it's Suzanne Westenoff that talks about how she for years did a bit about um Martina Lova.
Whatever.
Anyway, Martina. Anyway, so Suzanne does a whole bit about how hot Martina is. And Suzanne's been with her partner for a number of years
Hmm.
and gets invited by some other queer to go to an Elton John concert. And she's like, what is she going to say? No, of course not. Well, they don't have an extra ticket. So they're like, well, we're all going in a group. And then she's like, oh, well, you can just like sit on Martina's lap. And so she's like sitting on Martina's lap. And she's like calling her wife, being like, I love you. Can I stay the night? I buy you Lexus. She's like, so my wife has a Lexus, right? But
Yeah,
like, but my whole thing is, I'm just not where, if I needed to be concerned, you would tell me.
that's fair.
Like, I it
That's fair.
seems like a silly thing, but
Hmm.
like, to me it's not. If I needed to be concerned, like, if you were that interested in sleeping with somebody who wasn't me, I
Hmm.
100% would expect that you would want to tell me about that, and that we would sip the tea about it and see what conclusions we came to.
I kind of was, and then they got a girlfriend. I was like, damn, goes that.
In any
Yeah,
case, trustworthy.
I appreciate
I
that.
find you very trustworthy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'll be honest with you. I really appreciated that exercise. And
Mm.
I think one of the things that people should recognize when it comes to doing this work is yes, we understand that these are lengthy episodes, but it just goes to show you how this can get you to open up and talk to each other and how it can bring up thoughts of like past fun times and past experiences that you may have forgotten about
Or other
or
couples that you like to judge,
other couples you
or
may like to judge. But like I think that's what's great about these activities is that once you and here's the thing is you can go back through and do this workbook over again if you are really on the
oh
struggle
yeah,
bus. You could go back and redo
100%.
this 6 months from now and see how things have changed when you've implemented some of the strategies and behaviors, right?
Yeah.
um so the next exercise within the book is write a love letter. Write your partner a love note expressing how much you cherish him or her for these qualities. Read it out loud. Read it out loud to your partner during a romantic date. So we didn't actually do this activity. We did not do this activity for two reasons. One, it's really long, and we wanted to make sure that we did this in an appropriate amount of time. But two, fun fact, we actually started a love note journal when we first started dating.
Mm-hmm.
And we write in this journal periodically from time to time, and we leave it out for the other person to be able to read a love note. And I think it is a really, and actually, I've told this to a few people, and they're like, oh my God, I love that. And so I do believe we've inspired people to start a love note journal
Mm-hmm.
here and there. And so it's something that we do frequently. And we also go through times where we are just completely mushy and share all the things. But this is a good place to start. But I would actually encourage you to get a love note journal where you can just write notes back and forth to each other about why and how you love each other. And then I think I referenced your wedding gift before we started the last exercise. And so her wedding gift was I took an entire year from November 1st of 2024
Mm-hmm.
and wrote one thing that I cherished about you every single day for an entire year. And I wrote the final one on our wedding day before I gifted it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it has our couple's mission statement on the front of it.
Yeah,
So you know that I
I feel very cherished.
good.
Yes. But we did do the last activity of this chapter, sort of. We partially did this last activity. So, especially for a couple that is struggling, I would highly, highly recommend genuinely doing this and going through
Mm-hmm.
exercise 4, which is a 7-week course in fondness and admiration.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yep.
the workbook gives you an example of 1 week, and they base it on a 5-day week, so
Mm-hmm.
basically like your work day.
Monday through Friday.
Right. So if you work, Sunday through Thursday and your partner works Monday through Friday, then one of you can do Sunday through Thursday and the other does
Mm-hmm.
Monday through Friday. However, it aligns with your schedule, but on your days that generally look the same, you're going to go through, and the first day, second day, third day, fourth day, and fifth day of each week, you're going to write the same thing.
Yeah.
So, for example,
Do you want to just read the instructions?
sure. If fondness and admiration for your partner are fading, you can help bring them back with the following exercises. As simple as they may seem, the exercises have enormous power. Do them as often as you wish. If your relationship is already happy, working through the booklet is an excellent way to build on the good feelings between you. So, so Tanya and I just did 1 week's
Mm-hmm.
worth, basically, as an example. Would you like me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. So, Monday, thought, I am genuinely fond of my partner. Task, list one characteristic you find endearing or lovable. I find it absolutely endearing watching Tanya talk about something that excites her. Her hand movements and body language are so fun to watch.
Aw, thanks, baby.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Monday. I love your love of terribly bad web novels.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you cry at them and I can kiss your forehead when you do.
Some of them are really good.
And I love that you get so upset by the terrible writing because it's a terrible web novel. But I do appreciate that. I love your love of web novels.
Listen, some of the stories are good, and yet they're written so badly that I can't even get past it to enjoy the story. Like, I can see that you have a good story in your brain, but you gotta work on getting it on paper because holy shit, y'all. Anyway, Tuesday. I can easily speak of good times in our marriage. Pick one good time and write a sentence about it. Valentine's Day 2026. I had a blast, starting with drinks and yoga and then 4 hours of Zap Zone playing games. It was just an absolute fun day.
Aw. Riding the train to Chicago. Neither
Mm.
one of us had ever ridden the train to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And my God, let me tell you, it was a boring ass ride. And
Yeah.
the business class was not nearly as
Ugh.
amazing as I thought it was going to be.
But we wouldn't have known.
But
We
we
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
have known.
known.
But we still had a fun time and being able to land in God, what is the big
Central Station?
central station?
Grand
Is
Central?
that Chicago? For some reason, my brain always thinks that's New York.
I think it's both.
Anyways, for landing in the
I
big
think most of the big main hub stations are just called
central,
the Central
oh,
Station.
I don't know, but
Feels
we
right.
landed in the big train station, which was super cool to see, and it's something. It was just a new experience overall, and then I also put the wedding,
Mm, just all of it.
just all of it.
Ugh,
You know what?
should
Now,
have spent
now
more
that
time
actually, let
together.
me be honest with you, I don't remember it, but now that you've told it to me a couple
Oh my
times,
gosh.
I without remembering it, I do really appreciate your kindness, patience, and gentleness as I had a meltdown on numerous occasions thinking that I lost my wedding day jewelry.
Man. Honestly, it filled my heart with so much warmth to be able to break you out of your horrified spiral of not being able to find your earrings after definitely not having been unattended for half a second all day long. I was like, but I because I just knew, I had no idea where they were, but I knew that they weren't gone. Like, there's
Yeah.
no way they were gone. You weren't getting out of any of that by yourself. So,
No.
I wasn't that worried about it. Plus, you'd been alone for all of 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, it in only in that time frame
Yeah.
right before I came and found you. So being able to not only reassure you, but to break you out of that spiral and make you laugh, it was, I don't know, just something about it that really, for me, that really did make the wedding day.
Hmm.
I wish we would have been able to spend more time together
Yeah.
during our wedding day, but all the fucking people.
Yeah. Everybody said it. Everybody warned
I
us.
know.
So
Everyone also warned us to eat breakfast, but we didn't do that either. So
that's fair. All right. Wednesday.
Wednesday. I can easily remember romantic, special times in our marriage. Pick one such time and think about it. Um, I chose that there was a morning that we spent 2 to 3 hours just cuddling me at my request. And for me, that felt very romantic because I
Aw.
had shared with you that I just really needed some specifically non-sexual cuddling, like a good amount of non-sexual
Mm-hmm.
cuddling. And it's not your favorite way to be intimate or affectionate together. And so it just felt very romantic to me that you were willing to do that and spend that time with me and uh, embrace it.
Yeah, baby. I
Not
love
just do
you.
that, but embrace it. Yeah.
Um. So, I wrote. First of all, I'm trying to figure out what the hell this word is.
Yeah, your handwriting,
It looks
man.
like it says "rient," but by far one of the most. And then I'm like, what does that mean? Oh, it's recent.
Oh.
Yes, got it. Okay, recent, but by far one of the most.
Hmm.
The evening air and violin music through the window of our
Mm,
stay in Lisbon
mm.
and the rooftop bath under the stars. and
Oh,
Sintra.
I know we bitch a lot about our honeymoon, but there were some truly romantic moments
I
for
mean,
sure.
honestly, I now that we've come back and we've settled,
And really learned so much.
I really don't even complain about it anymore. I just like it's like all the things that were super annoying about it have like melted away, and I just think about all the good stuff that we did there.
Aw.
And I think the other thing is too, I think the reason for me, I thought about this the other day actually. The reason for me, the reason that I didn't have as much of a good time is because I really did not expect to have that level of anxiety
Mm.
being there. Like I have dreamt my entire life about traveling around the world and leaving the country on like a real trip. Mexico doesn't count and neither does Canada. I don't care who you are, it doesn't.
You have to leave North America.
Thank you. But leaving the country, the continent, and really just feeling like I was going to enjoy it and just be all in, and it just wasn't
And embrace
that.
it.
And
And you
so
were like, ugh.
I was not expecting that. And
Mm.
so having gotten home and like moved past that,
Mm.
my brain is kind of like all those bad times have kind of swished away, and it leaves the good times or the things that were really super annoying and bad. I laugh at them now versus like being angry about it.
Fair. Fair. Thursday. I am physically attracted to my partner. Think of one physical attribute you like.
Okay.
What do you think I picked?
My thighs.
Nope.
Oh,
I think you picked my forearms.
nope.
Mm. Okay. Tanya has an absolutely gorgeous face, especially her smile. She has good bone structure and nice features, and I love looking at her face.
Aw, thanks, baby.
Hmm. Why are you covering it? I just said I like looking
I
at it.
know. I kind of made myself a paper cut on the nose.
Don't do
I
that.
think I did. Okay. Thursday. Okay. I am physically attracted to my partner. Think of one physical attribute you like. The the way your back feels when I hug you. Dot 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 and your ass. More specifically, in very specific and sexual moments.
Mm,
Was
you
that
like when I'm flexing.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
You like feeling me put the work in. I got you.
Very
I
much
got
so.
you. Friday. Did you really give yourself a paper cut on your
I
face?
may have.
Your nose does look a little red on the tip. Stop touching it. Leave it be.
I may have.
Friday. My partner has specific qualities that make me proud. Write down one characteristic that makes you proud. She is driven and ambitious. I love how much Tanya pushes herself to pursue challenges that excite and fulfill her.
Aw, thanks, baby.
Hmm. I think, that's the part that doesn't really get said when I talk about being attracted to ambitious
Mm-hmm.
women or being attracted to drive.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like just that you're pushing. It's what you're pushing for,
Mm.
right? Like you're pushing for yourself. Like you want this. You're pursuing like you're not going after someone else's idea of what they think you could be good at, or
Mm-hmm.
like you're genuinely passionate about the challenges that you seek out, and the the like the fulfillment
Mm-hmm.
that you get from that is all very authentic. And I think the purpose behind that drive is also important to me.
Okay.
like that combination of like you're driven and ambitious, but you're driven and ambitious in a way that like is very authentic.
Mm. Thanks, baby.
Hmm.
I put, I am proud of how witty and smart you are.
Hmm.
And I really think that what it comes down to is I never feel worried about your ability to connect with others.
Hmm.
I like that you can connect with others because you are so smart, but also because you are witty. And there can be times in a relationship that one person carries the entire
Social weight.
relationship of social relationship with other people, and that
Mm.
can be very exhausting for a person.
Yeah.
And so because you have so much knowledge and information and you are very receptive and perceptive, it allows you to be those things with others. And in general, that to me is one of the ways in which our relationship is fulfilling, because we can have relationships with others, and it's not I have a relationship with others and I bring you into it. It's really a we have relationships with others.
Hmm. Aw. Well, thanks, baby.
You're welcome, my love.
Hmm. Well, alrighty then. As I said when we started, I have a lot of fondness and admiration for you.
Thanks, baby. I have a lot of fondness and admiration for you, my love. So yeah, we don't even have any follow-up book material about this section. Um, you
No,
know,
I mean, if anything, I would just say I would encourage anyone and everyone to just be more vocal about what you appreciate about your partner. You know, it's very easy to get bogged down in the logistics of life, but even just saying like, hey, I know you always do laundry on Sunday, but like, I don't know if I've told you how much I really appreciate knowing
hmm
that like I can just get up on Monday morning and have my choice of clothes to wear.
yeah,
And like if there's something specific that I know that you'll take care of it. And I just really appreciate that.
yeah,
Just be, I would just encourage people to be more vocal because it's hard to think of your partner as the enemy when they're being very obvious about the ways in which they admire you
yeah,
and hold fondness for you.
yeah. I think that if it's something that you haven't done in a long time and you're not used to, I think one of the easiest ways to start is by recognizing all the things that are done that seem like magic, right? And what I
Mm.
mean by that is, I think about this with Kieran all the time
Mm.
about the toilet paper upstairs.
Right.
That shit doesn't magically just fucking end up on the roll. Somebody puts it on there, you know? And so, like, if you happen to use paper towels in your house,
Yeah.
they don't just magically go back up there when they're gone. Somebody does that. And so my point is that it's little things like that. If you can start realizing that, oh, there's always toothpaste. When was the last time you bought toothpaste? Not like you, but like
Yeah.
when was the last time you were the person that bought the toothpaste? But yet you get to brush your teeth every single night,
Right.
right? So it's just those kind of little things too that when you start recognizing that those things happen, it makes it a lot
Hmm.
easier to begin seeing the other good stuff too.
Yeah. I actually have thought about that because of what happened the other day when he was like trimming the like fuzz thread off of his gloves and he just dropped it on the floor and you're like, "Can you pick up that stuff?" And he like rolled his eyes. And I think it was the next day that I had a conversation with him about being more considerate because I went out to the garage and it was just filthy with all of his crap everywhere. And I didn't say this, but I thought about it after I had the conversation. I was like, even when you roll your eyes at your mom about her asking you to pick up, you do realize that she's the one who keeps the floors clean in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and the being inconsiderate to the degree that you resent her asking you to not add to that workload that she already takes on for you
Mm-hmm.
is pretty inconsiderate,
Yeah.
right? And like just those little things and whatnot. And like it
Mm.
was nice that he didn't argue with me about anything that I did say, but I definitely should have slipped in a few extra
Yeah, that's because
little
you
like
have the "I'm disappointed in you" tone constantly, and that's the worst. It's the goodest. It's the
it's the
goodest.
goodest.
It's the best, but it's the worst.
Let's start day drinking. I think we're already
Can we?
there. Yeah,
Oh my
fuck yeah.
god,
We
I
got
got
stuff.
seltzers.
We got
Those are
stuff.
really good, by the way.
You said so.
One last thing I do want to point out before we close it up.
Yeah.
If you've been listening to this, we've talked about this a couple times, but I just want to reiterate this. Friendship, not romantic dates, not expensive trips, not over the top gifts. Friendship is the foundation for passion, intimacy, and good sex. When your friendship is strong, other areas of your relationship flourish. Affection, fondness, and admiration can be rekindled. And I
Yes.
make a note of that because I know that sometimes, especially within heteronormative relationships, men want more sex, women want to feel more love. And this is how we come into that space is
Mm.
by nurturing the friendship within the relationship.
One way to do that is by nurturing the fondness and admiration that you have for each other.
Dr. Gottman says singing each other's praises can only benefit your marriage. But in order to ensure that the gains continue, you need to put in your respect and affection to work.
Mm.
In the next chapter, you'll do just that.
Ooh,
Until
what's coming
next
up?
time, we'll be talking about turning toward instead of turning away.
Indeed.
Listen to our closing. We got some special announcements.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Before we end the show, there's a special invitation for you. I want to invite you to join the upcoming Love Spark Focus Group. It's my privilege to guide couples to relationship wellness, but I can only do that by getting honest feedback and discussion about the process. This focus group is free and can only accommodate 50 couples.
We are also looking for couples who would like to join the discussion by being guests on the podcast. So head over to milovespark.com to apply for both opportunities.
As always, thank you for listening. Find us on Instagram or Facebook at Love Spark Dates. And until next time, listen intently, speak kindly, and cherish each other.
Indeed.